Thank you, everyone. We have Coach Robert Saleh. Coach, whenever you're ready, sir.
Recording in progress.
We're with regards to injuries, Fant, we'll know more Wednesday. He's getting a second opinion on his knee. So that's still in the air. Michael Carter, hopefully we'll get him back. He's still in the protocol, so hopefully we'll get him back. Dan Brown doesn't look like he's going to make it in terms of this week with a hit. And then Bryce Huff, we'll know more on Wednesday with regards to his ankle. Same thing with Crowder and Elijah.
With Elijah, Robert, do you think he'll practice Wednesday? Like, is practice still a question, or is the game what's a question?
So he had a really good workout today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Wednesday, we're going to try to mock him out, which means we're going to try to get him through practice. If everything progresses, if not, then we'll probably end up having to shut it down. So we'll know a lot more Wednesday.
This one's probably. I mean, you implied this was the case last week, I think it was. But Mekhi Becton, is it safe to say he's not going to practice and won't see the field on Sunday?
He won't see the field on Sunday.
Hey, Robert, with regard to George, is the preliminary thought there that it's an ACL?
No, good question. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. His ACL is intact, so knock on wood. This is just stuff that he's from a previous knee injury that he's dealing with.
Robert, when you look at yesterday's game and just kind of this stretch of games here, where have you seen the most improvement from your team?
On offense, obviously the quarterback has made a significant jump in terms of just his control and command of the offense. I think our run game, our offensive line play has been fantastic. We've had so much turnover at the skill position spots, and it's been really hard to really pinpoint individual players, but I think as a collective whole with the coaching staff to get those guys in and out of the lineup and guys lined up, I think just collective effort from everybody, coaching and players with regards to skill players, to create consistency, I think has been so important, because when you're talking about the development of a quarterback, to have consistent play where people are where they're supposed to be, whether or not they're it's Elijah Moore or Keelan, it doesn't matter as long as they're where they're supposed to be. And I feel like our guys have really done that. And guys have stepped up, in those spots. But run game and quarterback have been improving quite significantly.
Saleh, how impressed were you with your offensive line being able to help plow the way for the rushing attack to get 150, especially against a defensive line in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who hold opponents rushing to, I think, about 88 yards per game?
Yeah, our run game, I feel like our run game has really taken off. I think I read somewhere we're 9th in yards per carry right now, which is pretty impressive. We're generating a lot of explosives in the run game. Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, Austin Walter came in yesterday, created some explosives. So the ball's been distributed. It's a great testament to John Benton, our line coach, and the offensive line. They're playing their butts off, and the scheme is really kind of a lot of pre-snap movement, a lot of deception, and a lot of moving the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was pretty cool, and it's been awesome to watch, because not only run game but in protection, the group has been really coming together too. So it's been cool to watch the whole line develop the way it has.
Hey, Robert, go ahead, DJ. You got a follow?
Yeah, and what does it say about you had George Fant get out, but then Chuma stepped in, was able to play well, and then obviously Dan Feeney started for Connor McGovern, and they the O-line basically didn't miss a beat. So what does that say about those two being able to step in?
No, I think you could say that by a lot of guys on offense, DJ, and defense for that matter. There's been a lot of guys who never would have gotten opportunities. I think I was looking at. I think we have 12 starters out from injury and another 10 from COVID. And so there's a lot of opportunity going on for a lot of guys who normally wouldn't have gotten opportunities. And they're stepping up and taking advantage of it. I've always talked about how player A to Z just needs an opportunity. And doesn't mean it always works out. It just, at least you're afforded that opportunity. Dan Feeney, I thought, played his butt off. Chuma stepped in. Communication was still there. Everything. It's really fun to watch when guys get their opportunity and have success at it. It's kind of what makes this league awesome.
Hey, Robert, you've talked so much since the beginning of December about playing December games and meaningful December games, which obviously you hope next year will have playoff implications. But your game on Sunday yesterday had some juice to it because you're playing the defending champions and Brady and whatnot. This coming Sunday, you play the Bills, who waxed you pretty good early and also are trying to win a division championship. Can you just talk a little bit about that kind of juice added to that game and what it can mean to your guys and and just kind of in your development phase that you've been on this year?
Yeah, this is the first stadium we're actually going into. We've been talking about December football and all that. This is the first one that's going to feel that way. The Buffalo's playing for a division. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be loud. It's going to be cold. It's going to be everything that you dream of as a kid in terms of going into a stadium and just it being as live and as juiced up as it's going to be. And we're going to get their absolute best shot. And we got to give it right back to them. We got to make them earn. And it's just a really cool opportunity for us to go in there and feel the energy, feel the juice, feel what another team who's playing for the division feels like, how it feels to lean on them, how it feels to try to separate, how it feels to tackle them, how it feels to be tackled by them, the urgency at which they're going to play. Like it's a tremendous opportunity to grow a lot in this moment. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to our guys answering the bell on.
And if DJ would allow me to follow, DJ, if that's cool with you, just how much of a measuring stick can this be for you because of the fact that it's a division game with a team that got you pretty good last time, and you've been talking all year about having the arrow pointing up as the year goes on, and obviously Sunday was evidence of that.
Yeah, I don't know about measuring stick, Mark, but I do think it's a tremendous opportunity for growth, whether the result tells, whether perceptionally we are in a game and all that that's perception. To me, this is a tremendous opportunity to step on the field with one of the better teams, like you said, who got after us at home in a playoff atmosphere, with them trying to earn a playoff spot, or not only a playoff spot, but a home game in the playoffs, which is a big deal. So it's a tremendous op, and it's one that I hope our guys are excited about, just like I am, and I think we are. So.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Do you have any second or day after thoughts on the 4th and 2 play?
No, Rich, you guys know me. I'm always going to look inward. Was going for it the right decision? Obviously, everyone you can second guess or not, but felt sound in that decision. Really wanted us to have a chance to win it right there, and first down wins it. The play call, the thought process, all of it, I think was really, really sound all the way across the board. And there was a miscommunication, and whenever there's miscommunication, obviously it always starts with me first. And it isn't anything to blame anyone on. What hurts the most is the fact that it took up and dominated what that one sequence, which it is what it is, took away from all the unbelievable things that happened. I thought LaFleur called an awesome game. I thought Zach played an awesome game. Our O-line, our defense played really well. I thought there were so many great things that were happening in that game. For it to be overshadowed by something that, like I said, always starts with me. That's what made me sick. And but being able to just go to bed, watch the tape this morning, just to see and have affirmation of how this game played out. I thought I'm really proud of our guys, and like I said, I feel like we won that game, and that was a frustration that y'all felt yesterday, but I love the thought process all the way across the board with everyone. I thought the play call was magnificent, it was creative, and it would have been a first down. It just we'll be better for it next time. That's one silver lining to take, is that we'll win games because of the things that happened yesterday.
I know you focus a lot on the present, Robert, but when you look at you guys and the way that you were able to play so close and position yourself to beat a team like Tampa, defending Super Bowl champs and obviously a team that has Super Bowl aspirations again this year, do you ever allow yourself to think about the future of this team and the future of this franchise when you do have another full off season of free agent signings and the rest of these draft picks that are coming up, and what you can potentially become considering where you are now?
You know what? You do, but you also got to check yourself pretty quickly because there's still this week to worry about. And I promise, as soon as evaluations are over and this game checks out and we finish and when we're diving into our tape with regards to self scout and looking, that's where all the focus goes to next. But do you allow your mind to drift? Sure, but at the same time, as a coach, you just can't let it drift too far because the obligation. There's still a lot of guys who are getting an opportunity that not only want to show that they belong on an NFL roster, but they should be starting this league. And because of it, it's our absolute commitment to devote every ounce of energy to that.
Robert, some people looking at the 4th and 2 yesterday, there were some former players on the postgame show that kind of questioned Zach's judgment and labeled him selfish. Art Scott and Leger Douzable and Willie Colon kind of called him out and said he called his own number there to be the hero. What do you think of that opinion?
I don't know about that one. He's a rookie. His head's barely above water with regards to the scheme. He's still in the pleasing mode of his career in terms of just doing things the way it's drawn up. If you're talking year 3, year 4, and he does something like that, then I guess you can start maybe. But as a rookie who's still trying to figure this league out, try to figure out what he can and can't get away with, and how to take control over things and all that, he's nowhere close to that in terms of a selfish player. He wants to get better. He'll learn from this. There's an old saying that and I learned from Kyle Shanahan that the great players overcome coaching. And not everything is drawn up the way you want it to be drawn. And there's times where even from a defensive standpoint, you're like, oh God, I'm glad he did that. Because if we would have done it the way I coached it, we would have got beat. And it's and it just happens that way. So Zach is in that mold where he's still trying to figure out what he can and can't get away with. I think he executed the playbook exactly the way it was designed to. In future years, where he's just going to look to the sideline and be like, just flip the bird the mic and say like, hey, we're doing this, buddy, and he's going to make it work because he's going to know. But right now, I don't think he's anywhere near close to being able to even make a decision from a selfish standpoint because his neck is barely above water with regards to the scheme. So
We'll take a couple more for Coach.
Just so I can let my editors know, when do you think that bird flipping is going to take place? Is this a next year thing?
The faster, the better.
Robert, what is the staff meeting like today? What are your conversations with Mike like today after what happened yesterday?
No one's beating himself up more than and it's Mike obviously is. I feel like we've built a culture around here where people look inward first, and obviously, I'm always going to look at the whole thing is my fault. Could I have been more decisive with wanting to go for it on 4th down so Mike has more time to talk? Everything starts with me, and so the conversation with the guys is to not lose sight of what happened on Sunday yesterday, and to just really focus on the things that not only the positives but the things that we can get better at. Don't harp on it. Everyone knows what happened. Everyone knows that it sucks that it happened. Well, how could we get better from this? And just to understand, we played our butts off, and the guys need to know that we played a really, really good football game against a really, really good football team, and our guys can't lose sight of that because of one small sequence.
Robert, do you have an answer on Mims today? Why he played 0 snaps?
You know what? It's we started out with Jeff, obviously Jeff Smith. It was Jeff, Berrios, Keelan, and the way the sequence of the game went on, it never presented itself to get him in. But Jeff's been doing a hell of a job. He's over the last few weeks, he's created a lot of reliability in terms of being where he's supposed to be. And could he do things better? Absolutely. But the opportunity to get Mimsy on the field just didn't present itself. So,
Robert,
Last one here.
one position that that there's a lot of questions coming to see was a cornerback, and obviously that has been kind of a spot of a strength for you guys. So how much has Tony Oden really helped the development of your young cornerback group?
T.O., Marquand, Ricky Manning, I don't know if I'm forgetting someone in there, but they've all done. Chip Vaughn, he's in there too. They've a really good group. Tony's done a really nice job with those corners. Again, do they have things that they've got to improve on? For sure, but I love the way they've gotten better every single day from OTAs From the first drills where it was like, man, this guy's got a long way to go, to now where it's they've gotten better all the way across the board, and really excited to see the development moving forward.
Can I slip one more in here, Robert?
Yeah.
The TV cameras caught Eccles after the game getting Brady's autograph on his interception ball. You have any issue with that?
I knew you were going to ask that, Cos. No, you know what? I'm going to try to be as I get it. You know, I get it because there's a lot of fans who watch and care so much about the result of the game, and so they want the players to care and they want to visually see that. So optically, I could see how some people could take offense to it, but the reality is, the NFL is a brotherhood. These guys all know each other. They talk to each other on the phone. They call each other. They work out with one another. Like, this is a huge fraternity of brothers, and you know, they just spent 4 hours going at it on the football field. They spent all week prepping on how they're just going to absolutely embarrass one another. And so at the end of the game, the jersey exchanges, those conversations that we're having, that is a very cool, genuine moment that's happening between players. And I think it speaks volumes. One, I mean, it's a little ballsy by the rookie to do it, right? But I think it speaks volumes about Tom Brady and his character. Major competitor, for him to sign the ball, I think that speaks volumes to him, because I don't care what anyone says. He picked off Tom, like that's a childhood dream. Like, it's one of the greatest of all time, and for Tom to humor him with the autograph and then do that for him, I think is pretty cool on his part. But again, I have no problem with it, not at all, because I know what those guys go through, and I know, trust me, Eccles cares that we lost, and he cares that Tom had a hell of a game. But to be able to pick off a guy like Tom Brady, I think that's sure how many guys can say that, right?
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Recording stopped.
Everyone will go back into the waiting room while we wait on Morgan Moses.